Hello and welcome back to Superliminal Podcast, and I'm honoured to let you know that today I have the very first episode that's been banned and deleted by YouTube because apparently it doesn't meet with their community guidelines. Well, I have a very different opinion on that because today's guest is Sandy Ingham, a wonderful psychic artist and medium who shares some fascinating information about the nature of reality and the fact that we cannot die, and she proves why as well. Now, I personally have had 3 psychic readings from Sandy over the last year or so, and I tell you, they've been phenomenal. Like she's told me stuff, and deceased people from my life have connected and shared messages that she couldn't possibly have known, and it has brought me so much joy, so much peace, and so much happiness. She really is the real deal. I actually first came across her after David Icke mentioned what an amazing medium and psychic she was, and then she went on to actually have a couple of episodes on Iconic, the Icke's media channel. A couple of shows, actually. One was a documentary, and then one was a full series called Messengers, which I highly, highly recommend. Purely magical. And I thought, if Ike's recommending her, then she must be the real deal. And it turns out she absolutely is. But back to our episode today. I originally published this just over a week ago, and in less than an hour, it got deleted by YouTube. And you'll find out about 20 minutes in because she says something super, super controversial, but it's very relevant to the awakening process of humanity. So what I've done is I've put the first, however long it is, 15, 20 minutes or so here on YouTube. But because I absolutely refused to cut out the bits that were deleted, or the episode that the bit that got the episode deleted, because I'm not here to placate anybody. This is about speaking our truth from a place of inimitable gravitas, love, honor, and respect. And so what I've done is I've created a backup channel on Odysee, which I highly recommend every single one of you to follow, because this is only going to be happening again at some point in the future, and it's very possible that YT could choose to just delete the channel without warning. So I highly, if you enjoy the show, which many of you do, I highly encourage you to follow the backup channel so that you'll always have access to the amazing guests. I've got so many fabulous guests lined up for the start of 2025, so I highly encourage you to follow Superliminal Podcast on Odysee. But yeah, you'll find out about 20 minutes in what it was that Sandy said that got the episode deleted. But for now, as always, if you could subscribe, comment, and like, and particularly subscribe if you enjoy the episode and you get value from it, I'd be most grateful, because then the algorithm gets it to more incredible people like you who would benefit from watching the episode and hearing the wisdom that Sandy and my other guests have got to share. So thank you as always for tuning in. That's it for me from now, and I will see you in a second. Bye for now. Welcome back to Superliminal, and as always, I know I say this all the time, I'm so excited about today's guest, because I really do get excited about every single one of my guests. As you'll have seen from the intro video that I've just done about Sandy, she's one of the most incredible humans that I've ever personally had the good fortune to meet. And again, as I shared on the video, I've actually had some readings from Sandy. Sandy is, of course, a medium and psychic artist, and the readings were just phenomenal, as I've already shared. But I wanted to invite Sandy on today because, as regular viewers of Superliminal will know, what this channel is about is deeply impactful conversations from the material to the metaphysical, to help us remember who the heck we are and to navigate this craziness that we find ourselves in, that we've chosen to incarnate into, by the way, before anyone says, well, I didn't choose this. Well, actually, we all did, but Sandy's going to tell us all about that. I will stop there and hand over to you, Sandy. Thank you so much for coming on the show and welcome to Superliminal.
Thank you. And it's a pleasure to speak to you today. Nice to see
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it is. It really, really is. So, for people watching who might not have come across you before, Sandy, perhaps you could tell us where it all started and how you got to where you are now, and your story before we get on to the state of the world.
Okay, that's a good plan. Okay, so I was born 77 years ago. And when I came here into this world, Leo came with me. So I spent my entire life with him. I speak to him every day. We speak fluently, telepathically. But I have seen him also. But again, many things he has taught me in my time here. Many, many things. And one of the very first things he said to me when I really understood that other people weren't like me, because as a child you don't understand that, because this being that I am, spirit having a human experience, is my normal. It is my normal. I don't know how to be anyone else. And so everything I do, everything I know comes from spirit directly. And Leo grew up with me. You know, when I was a child, he presented as a child. As I got older, he presented as of that age. And it was not until I was 60 that he picked up my hands to start drawing. And I had no idea what I was doing. And I'm a spirit artist, not a psychic artist, but I'm a spirit artist. I draw the people who have passed away. Sometimes I draw people still living. But then, you know, we didn't all like having our picture done when we were in life. So we may draw someone who is still living and very much connected with them. And this has happened at different shows I've done around the world. And yes, around the world, because I have traveled the world demonstrating what I do. And whatever country or culture I'm in, we still draw their families. And this I did from between 6 and 7 years, just constantly and consistently drawing their families. And by there, I mean people in the audience. And sometimes there are a great number of people in that audience because they all had to see it for themselves. And this is how I came to do my TV interview just a week or two ago, because he, the TV channel owner, was at the show and he watched me, and I faced away from the audience, strangely enough. The audience were all out to my right and I'm facing exactly opposite, away from them. I don't look at anyone. I don't react with anyone physically. I just sit down, the pencil comes up, and I draw their families. And so people need to see this for themselves. I understand that. And yeah, quite literally, from him picking up the pencil, and we always use a black pencil, nothing else, from him picking up that pencil and starting to draw people's faces, I didn't even realize I was doing it at first. It was a TV program, one of the soaps back years ago, forever ago it seems. As soon as the music for that show came up, I disappeared. You know, I dropped into a trance state, an altered state of mind. And when in that state, I had no idea what was happening with me, around me, nothing. And then one day, suddenly, I found I had to leave the room in the middle of the show, which I never saw. I only heard the music, and then I heard the music and it was over. But that time in between, I wasn't in. I dropped into this altered state. And I had to leave the room in the middle of the program on this one occasion. And as I'm leaving the room, I used to sit in the corner of a huge leather corner suite, you know. And whatever my hands were doing, because I would take my post in to do it while I watched the program, just I could never sit and do nothing. But I had something in my hand, I'm leaving the room, and as I rounded the bottom corner, whatever it was that was in my hand, I put down on the table, and there was movement, and I thought I had knocked something off. And when I looked down, there were these perfectly drawn human eyes looking up at me. And I was quite in shock because I cannot draw. And here I sit telling you now, I still cannot draw. I just cannot. I asked Leo about this, sometime years later. Why choose me? I can't even draw. And he explained to me that that's why he chose me. Because otherwise, in your mind is energy. Your mind and your beliefs create everything. Think about those words. And had I been able to draw, I would have interfered. My subconscious mind would have interfered and started to do it the way I thought was right. So I could not have any talent at all for art, and I didn't. So it was quite a shock. Anyway, I won't get entrenched too much in that because it takes some time to go through that life experience. But within 1 year of him picking up the pencil, he had me on stage. And then from there, I spread out around the world because Leo gets it right. But he taught me so much, Franco, so much. And one of the very first things he taught me was that we are all energy, frequency, vibration. Everything that lives creates energy, frequency, vibration. And these words are really big. What you believe is what you will manifest as your reality. So we talked earlier about opinions. I don't give opinions. I don't pass on opinions because that is what you're doing. You're passing on somebody else's opinion. I don't want them. I want the truth. I want the reality. I want to understand this energy and frequency and vibration. Nikola Tesla, he understood it. Leonardo da Vinci, he understood it. Because before Leo came with me into this life, he was the channel of Nikola Tesla. And I've since met the scientist who actually channeled Nikola Tesla when she was born. We had a recent conversation about she was playing with creating energy from Nikola Tesla's coils, the scalar wave coils, when she was 10 years old. She's a very well-known, famous scientist today. And I had the occasion to meet her very recently. Amazing lady. And she has got so much technology that will change this world. It will change this world. But anyway, back to Leo and our growing together. When you were in my lifetime and in my space, I never understood that other people couldn't see these people that I was talking to.
So you could actually physically see
I
Leo
touch them.
as we can see you now on this screen,
Absolutely.
Sandy.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes. And he's taught me so much, so very much. But again, back to the point, we are energy, we are frequency, we are vibration. Our minds, although in the human form, are very primitive. And I'm sorry if that upsets anyone, but it is a fact, we're very primitive. We allow ourselves to be told what to do because we have stopped thinking outside the box or thinking for ourselves. It's important that you think for yourself. If somebody tells you something, are you going to believe that immediately? No, not me. Never me. I will never do that. I'll say, okay, well, explain that to me. Prove it to me. It's all about proving what you feel and what you see and what you know. And as I said, it's like people who teach people to do things. What are they teaching? In whose opinion is that correct? That won't do for me. I want the facts. I want the details. I need to know. And Leo was that man. He is that soul, that spirit. And he still survives today. Because what I do, we do together, is proof and absolute evidence that we survive physical death, that we have, as human beings, we have abilities way beyond what we're realizing, because we've been dumbed down. We've been told what to think. We've been told what to do, while many get rich off the proceeds. We're all slaves. We're slaves. We get up in the morning, we go to work, we work really hard, and we make lots of money for somebody else. You know, why? Why do you do this? Why do we do this? Because again, we are taught that we need to have 2 whatever children and buy a house and have 2 cars on the drive, and we need all of these things. We need nothing. We need nothing except to eat, to breathe, clean air, clean food. I look at life now and everything that's happening to us, and how many people are sick. People are ill. Why are they ill? When I was a little girl, a very long time ago, everything we put in our mouth was clean. It was as it grew in the ground. The farmers, as they loved and treated their animals like friends, like pets, they did this. They were loved. Love, 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 love. That's what this world is all about. And that is our first instinct. Think about that. The very first instinct is to love. We love our mothers. We love our fathers. We love the animals. They love each other. They really do. I'm very, very non-religious, like Leo before me. He hated religion. He saw that religion separated people. And again, I'm sorry if that's contentious.
So that's as far as I can go with this episode on YouTube. But again, if you want to hear what it was that got this episode deleted, then head over to my new Odysee backup channel for Superliminal Podcast. The link is down in the description, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you as always for tuning in, and see you on the other side.